telling compelling stories right at UTRGV. It features athletes, leaders, and standout individuals making an impact. And now we're featuring one of the members here from Saddle Up Podcast. Joining us is Gonzalo Garza Jr. Thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
We're excited. We're definitely Vaquero fans here at Take 5. We always have our V's up. So
Yes.
I'm excited to talk to you about this. What can you tell our friends at home about Saddle Up Podcast?
So to start off, I want to make sure that I shout out to one of my best friends, my co-host, Mr. Matthew Palmquist.
Nice.
So we were both basketball players back between 95, 99 for UTPA.
Okay.
And this podcast idea for a podcast started during the COVID days. You're FaceTiming in the garage late at night, you know. And we were thinking, you know, it'd be great if we just kind of did this, right? Just for fun. And so we started this 92 episodes ago. So we're like you all mentioned, 8 to 100.
8 away from 100.
There's a countdown, baby. Just like UTRGV football's counting down to their first official game, we're counting down to 100.
Exactly. So, we can't wait. We're counting the days. But I got to ask, so obviously you guys kind of talked about this through COVID, but why was this so important for you to start?
It's really important because our hearts are with UT Pan American. We're Bronc Nation, right? Just like a lot of people are, and were. But what we wanted to do is unify the current UTRGV, Vaquero Nation, all the great things that they're doing, and unify and make build a connection, build a bridge between the old era, the Bronc era, and the new Vaquero Nation, and all the great things that the Vaquero Nation is doing right now. And I want to take the time to shout out to the support that the university has given us with this start of the show. When we started it, they were just, they welcomed us with open arms. Especially Dr. Guy Bailey, president at the university. It's been on the show. Check out his episode. And the athletic director, Chase Conk.
Wow.
Great people, great staff. We get to interview a lot of their coaches. It's just a great thing that's happening right now at UTRGV. And we wanted to make sure that we built that connection and that bridge with both alumni.
Love it, because I gotta say, the Vaquero Nation is definitely a friendly one. There's such great connections there.
Yes.
And I gotta ask, let's walk through an episode. What can people expect when they tune in?
This.
A good conversation going, right?
Yes.
But you have some special guests as well. Can you give us a little bit of examples of some of the guests that you've had?
Oh my goodness. So there's been so many guests, like 89, 90, I think.
Amazing.
One of them has been your very own, Tim Smith. So knowledgeable.
Love.
It was like an educational podcast, right, with the things that he was talking about. Dr. Guy Bailey, of course, his first podcast ever was a Saddle Up podcast.
Nice.
Couldn't believe that. I was like, wow, okay. Chase Conk, the athletic director, long time, used to be a head coach. He's a Hall of Famer, NBA coach, college coach. Lon Kruger started his career at UTPA.
Wow.
And he was on the show. So I was geeking out because I'm a former basketball coach. So I stayed up all night before that interview.
Oh, I can only imagine. Well, it sounds
Kruger,
like there's some really great interviews on there. And, as I mentioned, we are counting down those days to football season. We're ready. What can we expect from Saddle Up Podcast once the football season starts?
You know what? We've been excited with Coach Bush, all along the whole way.
Right.
And so we're excited about it. I mean, we're in text messages. We're in communication with them. Hopefully, we can do something during their first game.
That would be great.
Hint, hint, university. I know they've reached out to us a little bit about ideas and about getting that together with the university. But we'd love to be there. Matt Palmquist actually lives in San Diego, so we do all of our podcasts via Zoom.
Wow.
So he's going to make it down for the first game. We're going to be out there, and hopefully we can. Yes.
Yeah, he's got to be here.
Historical podcast, historical episode. So hopefully we get to be a part of that.
Perfect. Well, I got to thank you so much for joining us, telling us about this great podcast. If people want to hear, where can they find you guys?
So they can, anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Okay.
From, if you want to watch us, you can watch us on YouTube. You can go to Facebook, Instagram, iTunes, anywhere you listen to Spotify, anywhere you listen to your favorite podcasts. We want to make sure that we're out there in every platform.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you so much for joining us, and I got to give you a little early congratulations on the 100th episode. We're almost there, right?
I think you're gonna be the 100th. As an
it
official
would
invite
be
for
an
you to
honor.
be our 100th
I
episode.
love it. Yeah, let's get it
Awesome.
done.
Let's get it done.
Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us today.
Yes, ma'am.
And again, guys, if you'd like to learn more about this Valley-centered podcast, you can follow them on their social media pages and subscribe to their YouTube channel. Just look up Saddle Up Podcast in the search bar.